Hey there, gang. Time for another comic book unboxing video. And as always, I have been given a box of books to grade for sale on eBay. But again, as always, I have no idea what is actually in this box. So job one, I've got to get everything out, see what I've got to work with. So I invite you to sort of look over my shoulder as I do that, get my workday started. And along the way, we will engage in some nostalgia, tell some stories, we'll laugh, we'll cry. It'll be a great time. So if you like comic books, stick around. We're going to have some fun. Hey there, Bubby. Welcome to Shanghalla. My name is Duke, and this is an unboxing video. And we are back to the regular unboxings, the raw singles that we sell on eBay. And that's probably a good thing. You know, after a foray into grading videos and weekly haul videos and looking at some CGC books, we haven't fared very well. Those get far less views than this type of video. This that has become kind of the bread and butter of this channel over the last year. And actually, I was surprised the last video in which we looked at some CGC books, I actually lost a couple of subscribers. If you can believe that. No, you can't believe it. Why can't you believe it? Well, it's unbelievable. So, so I guess it's good that we are getting back to these raw singles. So please do like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Let's get that subscriber base back up if we can. But if we can't, hey, you know, that'll just be more fun for you and me, right? All right, so let's take a look at the first stack here out of this box. And you know what? I think we will actually do this box in two segments. This is kind of a longish short box. So depending on how chatty I get, we may do just the first half of this box in this video. But here is the first stack. And I can see already I actually am going to be a little chatty. So this book, if you're not familiar, Tales of Suspense number 32, there's a story with this book, a story that may be, in fact, probably is largely apocryphal. But as the legend goes, right at the very, very primordial, gestational early days of the Marvel Universe, Stan Lee did tryouts for a couple of characters that he thought might work as superheroes. He was thinking of an insect kind of a superhero. So he did The Man in the Anthill, which you know today as Ant-Man. That was Hank Pym. And then there was also this story, The Man in the Beehive, kind of a similar kind of thing. And the myth is that, you know, Stan had decided whichever of the two was more popular, he would turn that character into a superhero in one of the anthology books. And I say it's largely apocryphal because the month after this issue came out, Hank Pym made his first appearance in costume as Ant-Man after that precursor story, the prototype story in The Man in the Anthill a few issues earlier in Tales to Astonish. And so in order to appear the month after this book came out, it had to have been already in production before this book hit stands, which means Stan must have already decided which of these two characters he was going to turn into a superhero. Either that or, again, the story's largely apocryphal. There's nothing to it. It's sort of retroactive history that somebody made up. But if it is true, and if, you know, if readers had had different sensibilities, a different taste, if you will, we very well could have ended up, you know, with the founding member of the Avengers being not Ant-Man, but B-Man. And if you think the Ant-Man movies didn't do well, so there you go. This is, oh wow, this is Grun Leukta? Leukta? I think that's a U? Huh. Well, it's obviously a foreign copy of a Green Lantern comic book, and this is 180. What's DM? I think that's Deutschmarks, maybe. So maybe this is a German. I can't read this, so I don't know what this is. Maybe it's German. Could be Dutch. Do the Dutch use Deutschmarks? Maybe that's Dutch marks. I have no idea. 1981, so it's not not that old, all things considered. I mean, in comparative to, say, the Marvel Mexican and United Kingdom books that we have looked at in recent videos. Well, that's neat. If you know how to actually pronounce this, let me know. Grunleichte is what I'm going with. But, that's Evil Star, by the way. Interesting. Interesting. Fire Hair. Cool. So, I'm laughing because there's a friend of the channel, Anthony Perdue, who leaves very funny and insightful comments on just about every video. But Anthony is kind of an expert on the red-headed hotties. So you watch the comments for this video, and I bet Anthony will have something to tell us about Fire Hair. This is a Fiction House book. So you know Fiction House from Jungle Comics and Wings Comics and things like that. I don't know much about Fire Hair other than she is, as she appears, the warrior maid of the wild Dakotas. DC Comics in the early 70s had a Fire Hair that was a red-headed male Indian brave. So I don't think there's any relation there at all. But we'll see what Anthony has to tell us about that. I don't really know much about that. Tales of Suspense 19. The green thing. It looks like a giant broccoli. That's so stupid. This is obviously a Kirby cover, but not one of Kirby's better creations. Maybe Roz had tried to feed him a broccoli stew and it gave him nightmares. I don't know. I'm just thinking, imagine if, the president, emergency alert, came on with an address to the nation and announced, the aliens are real. They're here and they're in charge. And then he showed you a picture of one of them and it was this walking, talking broccoli man. And that's dumb. And then I love the little florets here. This one even has a little frowny face on him. Makes me think of Little Shop of Horrors. I'm just a mean green mother from outer space, and boy, I am mad. La. All right. Yeah, that's my favorite cover ever of Tales of Suspense. Flash Gordon, cool. Now, I say cool now, but when I was a kid, I would have turned my nose up at this. And this is 50 cents. So this is, what is this, 1980 or so? 80, 81. It's in nice shape, actually, by the way. But, and it's a Whitman book. And now I always thought that Whitmans were sold exclusively. It's Gold Key, by the way, is the publisher. Well, the publisher is Western Publishing. But they marketed their books under the Gold Key logo, except for the ones that went to department stores, mostly in 3-packs, and those were marketed under the Whitman logo. And I think it was, speaking of Anthony, I think it was Anthony who told me that no, the Whitmans were sold in other places besides the department store 3-packs. Anthony, let me know if I have that wrong. Maybe it wasn't you who said that, or maybe it was and I'm misremembering it. But when I was a kid in 1980, I would have turned up my nose at this, even though this is a very exciting cover, if unrealistic. I don't know anybody ever rode a shark like a bucking bronco, but the Gold Key / Whitman books just always seemed very undynamic, when compared to the Marvel and DC books, right down to, the logos seemed kind of staid and stale in comparison. And inside the artwork generally seemed less exciting, and the lettering looked more mechanical, and you had kind of square word balloons a lot of the times, which, I don't know, for some reason it just turned me off. So they didn't look as good as the Marvel and DC's. Now, they didn't look as bad as a Charlton, but it was what it is. And here, usually a lot of the Gold Key Whitmans, you don't know what the issue number is. You have to look inside. But here we can see we've got a little 34 up here. So that's obviously issue 34. Here is 35. 36. I don't know, this has a feel like it probably reprints earlier stuff. I'm not sure. Here's number 37. Here's a Star Trek book, 20 center, so this would have been early 70s. This would have been in the period after Star Trek had gone off the air, but when it was experiencing a revival in syndication, the kind of thing a lot of kids like me would rush home after school to watch on television. So that's cool. This was a one-shot book, Silver Surfer. It's technically Silver Surfer Volume 2, but as I say, it was a one-shot. This was actually written by Stan Lee and drawn by John Byrne, and it is 1982. So this was fairly late. This may have been one of the last comic books written by Stan Lee. I know the Savage She-Hulk #1 that he did is often described as his last work, but there is this from 82. Again, it's a extra-length Silver Surfer story with Mephisto, by the way. So as Mephisto is becoming a thing in the MCU and the Disney Plus shows, or at least is rumored to be a thing, he's rumored to be in every show and then doesn't show up. So maybe this will take off. It's been something that just kind of languished in dollar bins until the last couple of years, and it has actually taken off recently, so that's why it's in this box. We would expect to get at least $10 for that. But yeah, that's a thing, and here's another one of them. ROM Space Knight number 32, and this one is important because it is either the second or third appearance of Rogue. And of course you have the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and so it's an early appearance of Mystique as well. This is interesting, this grocery 58 cents. I have a couple dozen books in my own collection that have that exact same sticker on them, but they can't be from the same collection. There must have been multiple stores somewhere that did this exact same thing. Or maybe it was a chain of a particular kind of grocery store. I'm assuming by the grocery tag that it's a grocery store that this came from. But the ones that I have, I've had them all for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. So it couldn't have come from the same collection, obviously. But they have the exact same sticker on them, and they're sold for 2 cents less than the cover price of the book. So I don't know. Maybe this is something that particular grocery store or chain did. It has to be a chain, because I can't have books 10 years old with the same sticker. Or I have had books for 10 years with the same sticker, and then another one just recently shows up in a collection that we've purchased at the business here. So it has to be a chain that did this. And maybe it was like after a book had been on the stands for a month, they discounted it to try and sell it before they could return it to the distributor. I'm not sure. I have no idea. That's just really, really strange and odd. So here's Superman, the Man of Steel, number 19. That's Doomsday, leading up to the death of Superman. And we've got 1, 2, 3 of those. So I buzzed through those just to give you an idea of how excited I was about them. Here's Thor, appearance of the Super Skrull. That's a fun book. This is something that was dollar bin fodder for a long time, but with the Suicide Squad movie, this is now kind of a big deal. This is Bloodsport, and in this issue, he does exactly what they said he did in the movie. He shot Superman with a kryptonite bullet. So, there, that's cool. X-Men, this is from the reprint era, between issues 66 and 93, when the book was apparently not popular enough to sustain new stories, but at least popular enough to keep reprinting the old ones. Number 77, another reprint. Here is Incredible Hulk, 105. That's neat. 178 with the death of Warlock. Don't worry, he got better. Fantastic Four 115. This is not long after Kirby defected to DC. And I think this is probably John Buscema doing the artwork inside. Mighty Avengers, a nice Ultron cover. Always got to love an Ultron story in the Avengers, especially a Buscema Avenger story. Oh, wow. Well, I'm going to have an easy time grading that. That's going to be an incomplete 0. Missing centerfold. Question is, does it affect the story or not? That might be the difference between whether it's a 0 or a 0.5. Is that the exact same one we just saw? No, it was 115 we saw. This is 114. There is Hulk 104 with the Rhino. 141, that's the first appearance of Doc Samson. Here's Volume 1 of Silver Surfer. Number 18, that's actually, I believe, the last issue of Volume 1. What else have we got? Let's take a look. Usagi Yojimbo from Fantagraphics. Number 7. Nice. Nice. Werewolf by Night 37. I believe that's the second appearance of Moon Knight. Legion of Monsters. I don't know if I consider Ghost Rider to be a monster. Maybe these others. Man-Thing, Mobius, Werewolf by Night. I get the idea they sort of expected this was going to be like a thing. But this is, to my knowledge, this was the only appearance of this team. Black Goliath number 1 with the ab window. That's cool. Oh, neat. Some Silver Age DC, Our Army at War, number 150. Some nice Joe Kubert Sergeant Rock action. This issue is kind of taking off. Marvel Superheroes Presents, number 17, a solo Black Knight Dane Whitman story with, I think, some reprints of some, well, and then it was actually a Captain America story, I believe. Oh, no, it's a Wizard. The Wizard, oh, there's Cap, okay. I thought there were some reprints of some Atom Age. There's Submariner. Hey, this is a fun book. There's Human Torch. These are all Golden Age reprints. And, all right, here's the Black Knight story. I think the Black Knight story is new, is original. I thought there were some reprints of some 1950s Atlas Black Knight in there, but I guess not. Journey into Mystery 122. Captain America 114. Batman number 210. It's a popular book because of the Catwoman appearance and, of course, the Battle of the Sexes, the Legion of Feline Furies. Oh my. So, Amazing Spider-Man 76, The Lizard. Ooh, here's another one that's missing 4 pages. I actually, with missing pages and the condition of what we have left, I would stick this in a lot with some other things, or even in the dollar box. I don't think that's going to bring at least $10. I think I'm going to end up rejecting that as a raw single. Daredevil number 95, co-starring the Black Widow. Nice. 97, The Dark Messiah. 98, 101, 102. I don't believe I've ever actually, I might have a couple of these from this Daredevil Black Widow era, but I don't think I can't remember actually reading any of them. A Marvel Team Up number 7, cool, Spider-Man and Thor. Number 9, Spider-Man and Iron Man. These were cool because, a lot of the characters of the Marvel Universe I first met in Marvel Team Up or Marvel 2-in-1. And every issue was generally complete, done in one. So you got a good reading experience. You got to meet a new character along with your favorites like Spider-Man and the Thing. That's with Human Torch. Incredible Hulk 166. Oh! Superman was so blown away by that book. And actually, been having problems with my iPad battery lately, so my vocal quality here is going to change because I am unplugging the microphone and plugging in the outlets. But I think this is probably going to be the last stack for this box anyway. But we've got Hulk number 165 with Aquan. 164, Captain Omen. My goodness. Captain Marvel, number 25, with the Hulk. Nice Fantastic Four with the Dragon Man. Iron Man versus Submariner. Amazing Adventures. This is the, and this is actually the origin of the Beast. Shortly after he adopted his furry form. And just as Daredevil teamed up for a while with Black Widow, the Captain America book was a co-feature with the Falcon. This team-up actually lasted much longer. The Serpent Squad. Neat. Conan number 22. Cool. Number 30. 29. I don't find that Conan really sells that well. It does okay if they're in high enough grade, the 20 and 25 cent covers, but once you get up to about the 30 cent covers, I don't think you can really sell them as singles anymore. You've got to group together 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 and sell them in a multi-book lot if you want to get anything for them. 26. 25. That looks almost Barry Windsor Smith. I don't know who did the art on that. Avengers number 108. Check and mate. That's check. That's mate. No. I have no idea. Actually, I know that's the Grim Reaper. I don't know who this is. Probably a pale Skrull. I don't know. An albino Skrull. What do you think of that? Amazing Spider-Man number 118. 117 with the Disruptor. Always Popular, number 120 with the Hulk. 124 with Man-Wolf. 123, Sweet Christmas. It's Luke Cage, Power Man. Or Hero for Hire, as he was known then. Ooh, I don't know if this is going to sell well as a single. So just like Robert E. Howard invented Conan and Kull, he also invented this Valley of the Worm feature. This is in a title called Supernatural Thrillers that didn't last all that long. But this one's kind of hard to give away. I'm surprised that's in the singles box. Crazy number 1. And this is another one. Crazy and Not Brand Ek. Neither one of them actually do very well, I find, at auctions, but this is the first issue and it's not in terrible condition. It's actually pretty good. It's probably a 7-ish anyway, so maybe that'll do well. Oh, sweet. The first genuine appearance of Valkyrie, Defenders number 4. Now, she had appeared in an earlier issue of the Avengers, but it was actually the Enchantress disguised as her. So this is the first appearance of the one and actual Valkyrie. And here is Shanna the She-Devil. Speaking as we did at the beginning of this video of red-headed hotties. See, Anthony, I'm thinking of you, buddy. I am starting and ending with the redheads here, just for you. And here's Ant-Man. This, we spoke of Ant-Man earlier as well. Marvel Feature had a short run featuring Ant-Man. He was already Yellow Jacket at this point, but he went back to the Ant-Man persona, and this didn't really work out. As a matter of fact, actually, they first tried to do him as kind of almost like a Doc Savage adventure character. He was not in this costume, but a few issues in, they gave up and reverted to the traditional superhero costume. Matter of fact, the first few issues, he didn't even have the helmet, and then he got the helmet, and then he went back to the costume. This might be, though, next to last in the series, because I think Marvel Feature number 10 or 11 is the first Thing team up. So, yeah. But anyway, it's not a bad little series if you can, and it's only a few issues. You can put together a nice run. And in addition to the newer stories, or actually this one's all reprints. Look at this. No. So this starts out, must just be a framing sequence because you got a few pages of new art, and then it goes into what is obviously a reprint from an old Tales to Astonish story. Huh. And then what do you got? Another page here to close it out? Yeah. Huh. Well, that's an obvious deadline fixer. Back when deadlines were sacrosanct and you would never miss a publishing date, you had to get those books out. And if you had to do a reprint, had to resort to that to do it, then that is just what you did. Huh. Well, anyway, that is that box. Well, it's that half of that box anyway. Come back tomorrow when we will finish up. And until then, goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other.